So of Maltese descent, he has a rich heritage that he is proud of and shows in all his dishes. And I was one of the lucky people to attend his dinner at Shangri-La, what was it called? Pearls and Caviar, the restaurant. And I tasted one course after another, and I was amazed by every bite. That's my personal, and everybody in the restaurant agreed with me, by the way.
You can be my new PR manager.
Okay, fire the other guy, eh? No, I'm speaking from my heart. Chef Shane has a restaurant in Australia called Meha Bar and Grill. More than one, as I understand, not just one.
There's 5 of them.
There's 5 of them, only 5.
All different ones.
Oh, all
only
different
one
ones.
Meha, though.
Oh, so you're doing pretty good.
Not bad.
Okay, so you must be doing something right. And Chef Shane has told me he is about to open a brand new restaurant in Melbourne as well, and it's going to be called San Stefanos. No, sorry, Saint Caterina. I'm sorry.
Saint Catherine, Santa Catarina.
Santa Catarina. And it's going to be a new concept, and it's also celebrating the Middle Eastern cuisine that he loves, that he updates, that he reintroduces, that he is proud to share with you. So if there's one thing I'm delighted about being next to Shane here, being graced beside you, yes, and is the fact that we speak the same language. I believe, well, we have
love for Middle Eastern food.
Love for Middle Eastern food, and we both believe that Middle Eastern food is amazing, and it's one of the best cuisines in the world. And Shane is about to show us that.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Ahlan wa sahlan.
I hold the applause. I haven't done anything yet. Look, thank you for the opportunity to present here today. We're going to prepare 2 dishes. Both are reminiscent of what we do in Melbourne at Maha. It's a fresh Mediterranean approach to Middle Eastern cuisine, and everyone's always got this perception that Middle Eastern cuisine is, I don't know, maybe a bit
greasy,
scary,
heavy,
yeah, a bit greasy, heavy, maybe boring.
Or rice and meat, rice and fish.
In no way it's boring. You know, there's a diversity in flavour that stems from the most subtle dishes to the most intense dishes, and I don't think anybody, I'm not saying that I have, but I don't think anybody has really captured that essence of cuisine and nurtured it a little bit and polished it a little bit to get it to a place where it can be on a world stage. Absolutely. And that's what we're trying to do at Maha. We're trying to provide a fresh approach and a new insight to what is probably one of the world's best cuisines, I feel.
Yes.
So the first dish is Oyster Kataifi with a smoked almond and corn salad with a foam of tomato and sumac. So it's the flavours that we know, it's the flavours that we love, nurtured in a different way. Mm-hmm. So you have to excuse me if I look like I'm flying. I've got a massive jacket. I feel like I'm swimming. I'm going to swim back to Melbourne. So the first bit we're going to get on is the Oyster Kataifi. So as you all know, the Kataifi pastry, generally used in sweet production, baklava and knafi. But what we're doing today is we are just going to slightly moisten it with some ghee or clarified butter.
I'm sorry, if you're not familiar with this dough, it comes frozen, so you don't have to make it. And it's a very thin, almost like a vermicelli thinness. And it's often used in knafi. If you've ever eaten knafi in restaurants, this is a popular Middle Eastern, it's sweet, usually. But he's going to do a savory dish with it.
Look, as a pastry, it's quite neutral. You know, there's no sweetness in there, there's no salt. It's just a neutral flavoured pastry, like a filo pastry or spring roll pastry or a puff. Yep. You know, it's just flour and water. But it's what you do to it that enhances the flavour. You know, in knafi, it's soaked and it's very
syrup,
sweet.
Yeah.
What we're doing today is we're going to just keep it very savoury, very neutral. We're going to fry it, season it with some salt, and then let the flavours of the tomato and sumac foam and the barbecued corn salad be the hero.
Yes.
You know? So we're just going to wrap the oyster up nice and tightly. And look, you can use the fresh Kataifi pastry. You have to work very quickly. It is fresh and dries out quite quickly and is quite brittle. So I'm not opposed to using the frozen product. It seems to hold quite better. It's easy to work with.
Yeah, but you have to keep it covered while you're working.
Yeah, we have to keep it covered. Obviously, we're going to do only a couple today.
What do you need?
I was just looking for a plate. I'll use this one. So what we have to do, you can't fry that straight away. It needs time to sit in the fridge and set. And you can do anything with this, you know. It doesn't have to be oysters. You can put a piece of chicken. We've done it with octopus. You can do it with eggplant.
Yep.
And it all comes up beautiful, provides a beautiful texture. And it's something you can prepare the day before, put in the fridge. And because it's going to be set in butter, it will keep for 2 or 3 days, and then you can just fry them up. And it's a beautiful little meze. Yeah? So we will wrap that one up.
I do one like that in my book with shrimp.
Yeah, beautiful with prawn. Beautiful with shrimps and prawns. I think the flavour of the shellfish really sort of lends itself to the pastry, because the pastry acts as a sponge and sucks up everything that's in there. So what we're going to do is I've got a couple here that we've made earlier and that we've set in the fridge. And as you can see, it's set quite hard. And all that means is when you put it in the oil, it's not going to unravel. It's going to hold together. Okay?
And the butter helps it solidify and stay together.
And it also preserves whatever's inside, so it can keep for a few days. We've got some oil here. Preferably, you want the oil to be about... You don't want it to be too hot, because the pastry actually wants to cook inside, and there's quite a bit of pastry wrapped around there. So you want to cook it at about 160 to 170 degrees. Anything higher is just going to cook the pastry too quick, and it's going to burn without actually cooking inside the oyster. And look, I don't want to overcook the oyster. You want it to still be supple, and you still want it to be sweet without just frying it and getting rid of that beautiful flavour. But you do want it to be crispy. So you don't want to have to need plastic surgery after either. So you want to stand back,
And I just want to mention that behind every great man, there's a woman. And the lady on stage here with us is Shane's sous chef. Her name is Maria. So welcome as well.
Maria's been with our restaurant. Our restaurant group is still quite young. We're 5 restaurants old. We're 4 years old. 5 restaurants in, 4 years old. So, like I said, we're about to open our 5th restaurant when we get back. And Maria's been with the restaurant chain since the beginning. We've also consulted to a restaurant in Mykonos in Greece at the Belvedere Hotel. And Maria's worked in all of the venues, from our top-end venues like Maha and the Press Club, all the way to our entry-level venues and our tavernas like Hellenic Republic and our new restaurant, St.
Amazing.
Catherine's. So
you can't do without her.
She's the heart and soul of the company, she's imperative to our success. So, pastry done. Next we'll move on to the salad. Now, what we use in Australia is we do barbecued corn and puffed corn. And puffed corn seemed to be a bit of an obstacle here that we couldn't seem to find. Puffed corn it's a grain of corn. It's not like popcorn. You know how you get popcorn and it's puffed up? It's beautiful with watching a movie, But puffed corn is like in a breakfast cereal. It's similar to... This is puffed wheat. So if you can imagine puffed wheat... Let's see if I can get some more.
I can pass it around.
If you can imagine puffed wheat, but corn, yellow, and they're big. We couldn't find it here, so what we've done is we've made an amendment and we've used the wheat. And what that does, it's fairly bland. It doesn't really taste like anything, but once it's fried, it becomes really crunchy, and it adds a really good texture profile against the barbecued corn, where the barbecued corn's charred. And you find it everywhere in the Middle East, barbecued corn, and that's what we've tried to do, grab that flavour of the barbecued corn that your mum cooks and you found in the street and everywhere else, and refine it a little bit. Okay? So, to make the vinaigrette, we have got some smoked almonds, which we have smoked, but you can buy them.
You can buy them smoked ready.
And it's a lot easier than setting up a smoker to smoke half a kilo of almonds.
Can I turn off the oil, or do you need it still?
You need it in a minute, but I'm the chef here, okay?
No, right. Just so that it doesn't...
I know you used to have your own show, but...
I should answer you, shouldn't I? I'm a chef too.
Yeah, I don't care.
Let me get my knife. Where's my knife? Yeah. Give me a knife.
Yeah.
Somebody
you want
give me a knife?
Yeah. No. So our smoked almonds.
I would have done it a little differently, but it's okay.
Yeah, I would smash them in a mortar and pestle,
Oh no, I would have sliced them a lot nicer.
I want it rustic. I want texture.
I want refined.
If you want, it's like a woman. Always want more.
No, we're for quality.
Quality. Yeah, it's like my wife. I come home. She said to me before, "Does your wife work in the restaurants with you?" I said, "No, she doesn't." I said, "She makes me go to work." She says, "What do you mean?" I said, "Because I come home and there's Prada bags in the hallway." And she says, "You need to go back to work to pay for it." Anyway, smoked almonds.
But what's in those Prada bags? They're probably clothes for him.
No. I buy my own clothes.
Yeah,
anyway, smoked paprika, some diced shallots, some Forum Cabernet Sauvignon vinegar, and this is a product from Spain. You can buy Cabernet vinegar from everywhere, from Italy and from everywhere. We produce it in Australia.
So it's a red wine vinegar.
Yeah, it's a red wine vinegar, but I find this brand of the Forum, the Spanish vinegar, is amazing. You know, it's almost sweet enough to drink. You know, and it's if you're cooking with products that are that are amazing, it makes your job so much easier.
Of course.
If you start off with something that's second rate, it's always going to be second rate.
Of course.
You know. So our Cabernet vinegar.
Now, if we don't have that, what would be a good substitute, Chef?
Look, if you wanted to use something that wasn't alcohol based, you could use a balsamic vinegar.
Okay.
If you really had to, you could use even like a lemon juice and add some
sweetness or
and
something.
to bring that sweetness, you could add some brown sugar.
Yeah,
you know?
or honey.
Or honey, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So then you leave that sit. Extra virgin olive oil, because everything in the Middle East has got a litre of olive oil.
Right, and it has to be the best.
Has to be the best. You know, like I said, you're not going to use a product unless it's the best. Salt, pepper, and what you now have to do is you have to leave that sit. Now, the longer the better. There's nothing in there that's really going to go rancid. The nuts have been smoked, so that they're almost purified, and that can sit for a week, 2 weeks, a month, 2 to 3 months in the refrigerator, in the fridge. A nice air-sealed container, and the longer you leave it, the better it gets. And it's an amazing vinaigrette to use with not just this dish, but with lamb. You do some lamb on the grill, a bit of the almond vinaigrette, amazing. Even beautiful with fish.
Now, will your almonds go soggy after a long time?
Well, they do go a little bit spongy,
Yeah.
but it's still got that crispness because the almonds are quite, they're
robust.
Robust, and
Yeah.
they've been roasted and they've been smoked,
Okay.
so they're quite hard.
Okay.
And the longer you leave it sit, I don't know if we can see,
Yeah, right.
that's when it started and that's when it finished. The colour of the vinegar and the paprika leaches out, and it changes it into a beautiful red. Can you see that?
I can see. Yeah, we can see the difference.
This has been, we made this when we got here, didn't we? So this has been about 4 days. Okay? Longer the better. Long and slow is the way to go.
So that's good. You can make that in advance and forget about it.
Yeah, definitely. For the salad, we don't have a barbecue here, so I'm fairly sure that you all can put a piece of corn on the grill and just grill it until it's brown. All we've done is season it, haven't put any oil, just a little bit of salt on the grill until it's charred. And what that does is it creates another texture and another flavour, brings some smokiness, and is brought out by the flavour of the smoked almonds.
Yep. I see where you're going with this. Very nice.
That's this. Maria, have you got a bowl I can mix in? Now what we're going to do is fry off our puffed corn, puffed wheat.
Puffed wheat, yeah.
And it's not going to fry up like something normally would because there's no moisture in there. It's puffed. It's all been it's dehydrated. But all we're trying to do is just to crispen it up a little bit further because as you might be aware with these puffed things, they're quite like chewy, like rubbery,
like foam.
Like foam. So they do need something to lift them out. And when you've got them in your breakfast cereal and you've got milk, they sort of suck it up and they become like a sponge in it. It's great in breakfast cereal, but in this you don't want a soggy piece of wheat. You want something nice and crispy, and that's what we're trying to achieve. So just give that a second. That's going to go in the salad with some chopped chives, the vinaigrette, some shaved onion, and it's done. It's a really, really simple little salad. And it doesn't have to be served in one dish. It's great as a meal. A big bowl of this barbecued corn salad, some grilled lamb, vinaigrette over the top, some fattoush, and having a good lunch.
I tasted this at the dinner at Shangri-La. This was one of your courses.
Yeah, I love it.
It was delicious. Yes.
It's something that we stumbled across, which has become one of the favourites at the restaurant. Our corn. We just want to do some large pieces.
The corn? The wheat? Yeah, I can. Do you have any left that I can pass around? Yeah. Thank you. Do you need it, Chef?
No, it's all yours. I'll charge it to you later.
And just pass it around. It's wheat.
No, only joking. A little bit of our onions
بس هو اللي كان عم يحكي عنه مش الويت
and vinaigrette.
بس ما في منه.
That wasn't me, that was her. Some salt and we're done. Okay, so that's 2 components done so far. Now we'll move on to something that's probably something you're not going to do at home, or you may if you're a little bit adventurous.
It's a little chefy.
It's a little bit chefy. But that's why we can charge you a little bit more. So we're going to make the tomato and sumac foam. Now, we've got two derivatives, as you would have seen when you came to the dinner we did. We make a tomato, we call it a tomato chai, so like a tomato tea base, which comes out pure translucent, and that becomes a base of tea that we do, a soup, but it also becomes the base of this foam. And foams and airs and all this new molecular gastronomy,
in now,
it's great because it gives us a new tool to work with. But essentially, if it doesn't taste good, we're not going to put it on the plate. It's not just there for looks, it has to also taste good. So for this dish, you need ripe tomatoes, even if they're overripe, even if it's something that you wouldn't serve in a salad, better, because you're going to puree it up anyway, and the flavour of an overripe tomato is a lot sweeter, because as you know, as a tomato gets older, it starts to become a bit more sweeter, the sugars inside caramelise, and that's what we're after. If you're unavailable to get beautiful tomatoes, you can, when you're pureeing it up, put a little pinch of sugar to help bring it out.
The sweetness,
you don't really want to have to do that.
No.
So we'll just make a small batch.
And you're chopping it all with the peel. You're not peeling it.
No, the whole thing.
That's great.
The whole thing. Yeah, the whole thing.
Good.
Natural. Our chilies.
Seeds and all.
Seeds and all, everything in. Garlic. I won't put the skin of the garlic because it can become a little bit bitter. And basil. We've got some beautiful young basil. Now, I heard one of the other chefs wore this when he did it, so...
This is here? This? Yes. Oh, the lid.
Shukran.
Thank you. May I point out that was a woman?
I didn't say there's anything negative about women. I love women.
Okay. Okay. Women notice things.
Women know a lot.
So now you put basil. Mint would be nice in that too,
Mint would be nice, but I think the marriage of basil and tomatoes
is amazing.
And what I find with mint, a lot of times when you puree it too much, it becomes really strong and then dies off really quickly. Yeah. Whereas basil maintains.
Yes.
All right. Thank you for that. Have a laugh. Where's my thingy, Maria? All right. Now, we need to... Now, this process takes... Look, at least it's going to take overnight. Because you can't force... What you want to do is... Have you got the end result? This is what you want to end up with. A clear liquid, okay? From this. So, if you push this through it, it's going to become all red and all the sediment's going to end up in the bottom where you don't want it. You want it to slowly... Like distill, when you're making... you want to slowly distill and just have the pure essence of the tomato. And... if I brought more, I would have poured out little shots for you to taste, because think about the best tomato you've ever tasted, the freshest, best tomato. This is by 10, because this is the pure water from the tomato. Okay, so what we're going to do is you need a clean cloth. You can't just do it in there. You need to have a cloth or some muslin cloth, the cheesecloth.
Like a cheesecloth, yeah.
And you pour it in.
Like making labneh.
Yeah, like making labneh. Yep.
What about coffee filters? Would that be an option? You could use a coffee filter too.
Definitely. And, just like making labneh, you tie it up and put it in the fridge and you leave it overnight, and that will slowly, as you can see, slowly starting to come out. Drip, drip, drip. And you'll end up with this. Thank you. Now, what we're going to do with that is we need to intensify the flavour a little bit, because it's beautiful and it's subtle, but it hasn't got the flavour profile we need to carry this dish. We need a little bit of heat. We have got some chilli in there, but that chilli kind of gives a sweet heat. I want to lift it a bit. So a little couple of dashes of Tabasco sauce goes a long way. Okay? Time to add the sumac. Now what the sumac's going to do, it's like a dye almost, and it's going to make that tea which we've tried so hard to get nice and pure. It's now going to make it pink. But it adds a beautiful lemony flavour to the tomatoes, and sumac and tomatoes is like
heaven. A good marriage. Yeah.
Perfect match.
Yeah. Whatever. What is sumac, chef?
Sumac, look, it's a spice, but it's a berry, which is just farmed off a tree, which is dried and then crushed and produced into the sumac powder. You can buy it as a whole berry as well, but it's easier just to buy the powder.
That's right.
How do you turn this on?
A long time ago, they used to use this in replacement for lemon. It's very,
beautiful.
very tart.
Yeah, very tart, very zesty, beautiful with lamb. beautiful with fish, you know. Like,
Can I pass it around?
Yeah, definitely. The best thing I find about Middle Eastern cuisine is the finesse, and it's something that it's not renowned for. There's a lot of finesse in Middle Eastern flavors. You know, you can just get a beautiful piece of fish, grate some ginger, a little bit of sumac on top, olive oil and salt under the grill, and you've got a beautiful piece of fish without having to go to all this extent of, you know, pan frying and making a sauce and wrapping it in something. And, you know, you don't need to do that. You know, with Middle Eastern flavors, you can just be very subtle.
Yes.
A little bit of finesse, it goes a long way.
That's right.
You know? The stabilizing agent in this dish is just purely gelatin. A lot of molecular gastronomy, you use stabilizers. You use stabilizers and like soy lecithin and xanthan gum, which are all naturally produced stabilizers. But what we're using here is just simple gelatin, because what it does, it will set the jelly and it'll give it some body, because at the moment it's got no body, and it'll allow the CO2 that we pump into there to hold it. All right. So gelatin sheets you can buy in here, yeah? Anywhere? Oh, sorry.
That's for you.
Sorry, yeah. Can I have a massage as well?
No.
That's right. So you can buy gelatin sheets anywhere, yeah?
Yep. And you've soaked it in cold water.
Soaked it in cold water, and that's rejuvenated the gelatin sheets.
Yep.
And that is now going to go
into
in
the
here.
hot liquid.
Hot liquid. And slowly melt through. Once that's dissolved, can you grab the hydrant there, Maria? You whisk. Once that's dissolved, it's going to be hard like jelly. Not too hard. Maria! See, that was a woman. No, sorry.
I think it's strike two, Chef.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you're losing.
It's going to be a long 14
One
hour
more
flight.
and you're out of here.
I know, a long 14 hours back. You didn't tell me about that one.
But I was about to go grab it for you, but you took it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So it sets like jelly, you know. Actually, it'll set really hard, like, you know, really firm. What we've done is we've turned that out onto the board and we've chopped it up really fine, so it becomes easier to put into the canister. Okay, because what you need to do, you need to make sure when you're pumping this gas in there that it can actually get through the jelly, and if it's a hard block, it's not going to get inside. Right. It's not going to work.
So you break it up.
So you're breaking it up,
yep.
And then you just put it in here and not all over the kitchen.
So it's like Jell-O. If you've ever eaten Jell-O, and you know when you're a child, you stir it. Do your kids ever stir the jelly and it goes all blah 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 blah? That's what it's like.
Okay. So that's that. This goes on. Now look, that's why I said you might not be doing this at home, because it's a little bit of mucking around, but it's fun, you know. You can mess the kitchen up and you know, give something for your people to do. Canisters in. One, and you need to give it a good shake.
We've seen this through 2 weeks of many chefs use this technique, as you know.
Yeah, because it costs nothing and it costs you more. Look, I have a little daughter to feed, and my wife likes Prada, so you know. Second one.
So you're using 2 cartridges.
Yeah, 2 cartridges, just because you need that volume of air inside to push it out and get the flavour you want. It's time to plate up. Now, very simply, the salad in the bowl.
Yes. Yes, that's the sumac. It's like a crimson berry that's very tart. Very typical Middle Eastern ingredient. You'll see it on fattoush. If you've ever eaten fattoush in a restaurant, wonder what that pink is, that's what it is. Okay.
So the oyster on top of the salad and the foam.
Oh, what a pretty color too. It's like a pale
it's
pink.
Like a little cloud, you know, like it's beautiful. And the whole thing is that you can't serve this in a really hot bowl, because this is a cold foam set with gelatin, and it's quite cold, you know.
Right.
If it's a hot bowl, it's just going to melt it really quickly.
Sure.
But it's really beautiful to have that in it. You put it in your mouth, I don't know, you've probably had it already, but...
I'll try it. Yeah, it's like velvety. Velvety. Here.
I'll steal that glass from you.
Here.
You know, it's like a cloud, you know. You know, it goes in your mouth, it's big flavour really quickly, and then it's gone.
Here it is.
You know? So hopefully the one we cook at the back is good as well. So
delicious.
You get to try it.
And you can taste the tomato and the basil.
Yeah, it's
all
very
in
fresh,
there.
and it goes really well with the big flavours of the smoked almonds. And that's what I think the quintessential element that a lot of chefs miss or don't acknowledge about Middle Eastern cuisine, that it can be here and here in the same dish and have a beautiful balance.
It's like a fluffy pillow.
You can rest your head on that.
That you can rest your head on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so first dish done. How are we going for time, all right?
Yes, very good.
Okay.
Excellent. Dish number 2. And of course, all the components of that dish also have to be cold.
Definitely.
This is a cold salad.
Yeah, definitely. The corn salad's got some warm components, but that adds to that flavour. You don't want it to all be cold like it's from the fridge.
Yeah.
You know, especially with the vinaigrette. Yes, you can keep it in the fridge, but if you keep it in the fridge just before you serve it, it's solidified.
Yeah.
You know, and that cold oil flavour is...
So room temperature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want it to be room temperature. Sorry, if you don't have the foam thing, you have to come to Australia to my restaurant. So, look, there's really nothing else that produces that foam. Oh, if you've got the tea, it's beautiful on its own. Beautiful as a, shurba, beautiful as a soup. You know, we serve it in the restaurant with a little scoop of basil labneh, seared scallops, some asparagus, and the tea just warmed. You know, it's really beautiful. If you wanted to be a bit fancy, you could do a different version. You could get the oyster shells with the oyster inside, and instead of pouring the jelly in a sheet, you could pour that jelly on top of the oyster and then put it in the fridge, and that jelly would set on the oyster shell, and it'd be, you'd have a similar flavour. It wouldn't be as light and airy, but you'd still get that flavour of the tomato and the sumac with the oyster. I know that was just off the cuff, so, Next dish. Next dish is a dish that we don't do back at Maha. It's a dish that we designed for the Gourmet Summit, which we've been serving in pearls and caviar, which has been a really great dish, and we're definitely going to take it back to Melbourne with us, because...
It was lovely.
Yeah, it's lovely. It works really well. We're using lobster. Now, it's not alive. It was alive. It's definitely not alive. And I'm not going to sit here and go through I'll explain the process, but I'm not going to sit here and cook a lobster. It's just watching boiling water. So what we've done, big pot, 3 times the amount of water to lobster, salt, lemon, the whole lemon, just throw it in, thyme, bay leaves, garlic. So you want to get a bit of flavour in there. A lobster about this size, which is about 600 grams. Put it in 5 minutes. Once 5 minutes is done, you take it out, put it in ice. Done. It's not brain surgery. Then what you need to do is you need to remove the meat from the head. So you just simply twist it. I'll try to keep clean. I'm the world's most messy cook. And this little skewer that we put in there was just to hold the tail straight. It's a lot easier to just, I don't know if in Abu Dhabi, if you can just get your fishmonger to do it.
Oh, yeah. We can do anything here.
I know, I've seen the hotels, they're amazing.
And you can tie it as well. That's another way of keeping the tail.
You can tie 2 cray together with the tails together so they don't move. Then what you need to do is just remove the shell. The best way I find is to just cut. I'm going to make a mess. Remove the meat. And you need to make sure, you get out, there's a vein inside that, I don't know any way to say it nicely. That, how do you say it nicely? That holds the
meat together.
No, that holds the remnants of its last meal. Okay.
Yeah. It's digestive process.
Yeah. So what we do there, just clean it up, take off this. And what we're doing is, this is where, I was trained classically in French cuisine, This is where we try to use, the sort of the mother of modern cuisine in our Middle Eastern flavors. So what we're doing is we're wrapping it in some ham. Now, traditionally, you'd find, you'd use prosciutto or Parma ham or a jamon from Spain. So instead of using that and sticking with the Middle Eastern theme, we're using Basterma, which is an air-dried beef, originated from Armenia and Turkey, rubbed in chamen, which is a spice made from fenugreek and paprika. And it's a big flavour. It's a really big flavour. Yeah, you'd hope. Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
So it's a beautiful flavour. I call it the Middle Eastern prosciutto.
Oh yeah, Basterma.
So
like pastrami, and it's dry.
And beautiful with we eat it at Maha. We shave it and just eat it. I'm looking for the
end.
Yeah,
Allow me to find it for you.
I've got it. Okay. So what you want to do is find some pieces. We've bought this pre-sliced. It's probably a bit easier than having to slice it at home. I think 2 pieces. It's beautiful red flavour. It's really strong flavour. Beautiful normally with meats. Probably a little, in most instances with delicate seafood, probably a little bit too strong. But with shellfish is a big flavour,
right.
and it can carry it.
It works.
Okay. Don't need to put any salt because this is quite salty. And that flavour is going to go through the fish. Wrap it up. And what we're doing is we're creating a little parcel for no other reason but to push the meat together and hold the shape.
Because the presentation is just as important as...
Yeah, you eat with your eyes.
That's right.
If it looks good, it tastes good.
That's right.
If it doesn't look good...
You don't want to go there.
Definitely. So, you wrap that up and you leave it sit. Needs to sit for at least an hour for that meat, because that meat's quite soft and needs to compress into each other and form one, so when you cook it doesn't unravel. Here's one we've done earlier. Is that on? Okay, so that's been sitting for a while now. What we're going to do is unwrap it. What we're going to do is unwrap it and just sear it off in a pan. And what the effect we're trying to find is we want that meat. Look, the fish is already cooked, so all we want to do is warm the lobster and the meat's cooked too. We're just trying to get a bit of texture, so create a little bit more of a crunchy exterior, and that'll happen when we introduce it to heat. And you need to introduce a fair bit of heat. You can't slowly put it in the pan. Generally what will happen is that there's a lot of moisture in there. There's a lot of moisture in the fish. It'll slowly excrete and become soggy like a pool in the bottom. You want it to be nice and crispy. Do need to put a little bit on top of the fish.
So that's olive oil you're putting?
Only the best.
Yep.
I don't really use anything else.
Yep.
We use a little bit of peanut oil.
Yep.
Mainly olive oil.
Yeah, because that is the flavour of the Mediterranean. Anyway,
it is. It's my dad's village back in Malta is called Zaytun. So it's olives. It's in our blood.
Of course.
So that is slowly going to come to temperature. While that comes up, I should talk about the pumpkin curing. Thanks, Maria. She keeps me up to date. Every time I forget, she reminds me what I'm supposed to be doing. We're serving it with a so I suppose you'd call it a cylinder or a cannelloni of cured pumpkin and crab. Now, again, a bit chefy, but this is one of our top-end dishes. So you do need to actually do more than just do a puree or something.
Is this a main course dish, Chef?
This is a main course dish.
Yep.
We did have some cured one. All right. So what we're doing is we've got a butternut pumpkin, which are those long, sort of like yellowy pumpkins.
We get them here.
Yeah, on one side it's solid, one side it's hollow. The hollow side's got all the seeds. It's not the part we want to use. We use that to make the puree. Now, I'm not going to go through making the puree. It's really easy. In a pan, a little bit of cream, cook it till it's soft, some cumin, salt, done.
What about roasting it?
Yeah, you can roast it.
Would be even better.
You can roast it, it gets a big flavour.
Yeah.
But I've got huge flavours in this dish.
Okay.
So I want a subtle, creamy texture that's just going to lift the flavour of the cylinder that I have. So what we've done is we've got the pumpkin, and we've got a big meat slicer, and we've cut it into sheets. All right, and then trimmed it up into the size we want. I don't have a big slicer here, so I can't show you.
So that's raw pumpkin.
That's raw.
Yeah.
Okay. what we've then done is I'm going to show you how to make it. We've made a cure and cured the pumpkin, so it's become limp and flaccid. For two reasons: one, for flavour, and two, so we can roll it. You know, because if you try to do this, it's going to break.
Right. How did you cure it?
Well, see, look.
Oh, there it is, breaking apart.
You know, we're going to show that now. We cured it in a quick cure of sugar, salt, and spice, which is here. Is this my mix together? Sugar and salt? Okay. The recipes you have in front of you: sugar, salt, thyme. Now, we're not going to eat this here, so you know I've got no problem just breaking it with your hands. You'll never see me chop herbs really finely on a chopping board. Because if any of you got a white chopping board like this at home, you'll know after you've been chopping parsley, the chopping board was this colour.
Well, green.
Now it's this colour.
That's right.
And why is that? Because all you're left with on your chopping board in the parsley is the carcass, and all the juice and nutrients and flavour is in here. So what's the point? You know, you pay good money for parsley, and then you're eating the scrap. So generally, I just tear everything, or really quickly chop, 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 done. You know, I don't like the chefs to sit there for ages and think they're, you know, amazing because they can chop very fast. You know?
But what do you do when you make that bouilli?
I fold it up very quickly and just really fine.
Slice it really fine.
Yeah, really fine. Not like, you know,
not mush.
They sit there.
Yeah.
And then last week I went down the street and bought a, you know, it's not doing anything. So garlic, cardamom, and the cardamom we're just going to open up.
Just to release the flavour.
Just to release the seed and the flavour. And that's our curing mixture. What we then need to do is actually cure the pumpkin. And it's going to take, look, for this small amount, it would only take 15, 20 minutes. But if you're doing a fair bit, like if you're doing a few in the recipe, I think it's up to an hour. Depending on the quality of salt you use as well. You know, if you're using just a fine table salt like this, it will take a bit longer. If you're using a coarse, like sel de fleur, it's going to be shorter time because it's in a more intense, higher mineral content. Okay? So, pumpkin.
So there's no liquid added to this?
This at the end of it, there'll be a pool of liquid in the bottom.
Yeah.
And that'll be from all the water left in the pumpkin.
Right, because it seeps out.
Yeah, and it's a vegetable and there's a huge water content inside. Okay? So basically it sits like that. We cover it in cling film in the fridge. Yeah?
You saw it? Yeah.
Yep, goes in the fridge. When it comes out, we rinse it under some running water to get rid of all that salt flavour, pat it dry, and we're left with
a pliable, something that you can, that is more pliable. So it's almost like a pasta.
Yeah, almost like, it becomes like a pasta sheet.
Yep.
Sorry? Oh, no, you can stack them up. You can stack them up or do them on a large tray and just season over the top. You want to make sure you've got an even consistency of the salt over the top because if some edges are left undone, then they won't become cured properly. All right, we have got some bowls under here. The crab. Now, you can buy crab meat already like this. If you want to be a perfectionist and go fishing and get the crab and cook it, more than welcome. But I'm not going to waste my time. When you can buy a product that's already done. Cleaning crab is a big job. The yield is quite small. Yeah, look, the product at the end might be 5 or 10%
Better.
either way.
Yeah.
But by the time it's wrapped in there and cooked in here and done this and that,
Doesn't
I can't
matter.
tell a difference. So, I'm not saying I'm any better than anybody else. But
No, I mean, if the shortcuts are okay. I mean, if it's available and it's good quality, why not?
Definitely.
Yeah.
And to be honest, a lot of the times that these producers are producing one singular product, they're specialised in one product.
Yeah.
And
They do it well.
And they do it very well. They probably do it a lot better than you and I do.
Yep.
Crab, crushed coriander seed, ginger, coriander.
These are all ingredients that we can find here so far. Everything is friendly.
And lemon. Now, the only reason I'm doing the lemon like this and not grating it is because I don't have a grater.
Oh!
You know, but I left it in Melbourne, so I'm just going to slice it up very finely.
Has it been challenging for you cooking here, away from your own kitchen?
No, it's been amazing. You know, to be able to look. I know this isn't classic Middle Eastern food, but to leave Melbourne and come to the Middle East to cook Middle Eastern food is an honour. You know, you know, we get a lot of acknowledgement and recognition for doing it in Melbourne. We've got a huge cultural diversity within our restaurants, and you know, Australian as a pure Australian, we're convicts, you know. There's nothing. So everyone that's come to Australia has brought their own culture and made Australia what it is. So you know, same with my family, and for us to be able to now create a new forefront is amazing.
No, it is. Australia is a very multicultural place, just like Canada. Canada's the same as well.
Definitely,
and they welcome that.
Well, my dad was telling me when he left Malta in the '68, he was on the boat, and there was one ticket. I think it was 6 lira for Australia, and one ticket 8 lira for Canada. And my dad, being the tight ass he is, we came to Australia.
You took the cheap route.
Yeah, which worked out great because he met my mum, and now I'm here. So it's great.
Happy ending.
Happy for me. Little bit of olive oil. Little bit of olive oil. Pinch of salt. And the mix is done. Okay. One more little roll of our cling film. It's not working, is it? Our pan is taking a little bit longer to heat up than usual, but we'll get there. Pumpkin on there. Crab in the middle. Can you see this?
Can you see?
I'm on a bad spot, aren't I?
No, you need to go there, please.
On the stove?
Well, no, just like closer to the camera. I'll move it for you.
Thank you.
Okay. Pleasure. Here is better, right? You can see here? Yeah. Okay, chef.
I can try to do it like a cigarette and roll it here.
Here.
No. Okay, so you can't see? Open your eyes. Oh, look.
Oh, here's good. Yeah.
All right. Can you see now?
Yes.
All right. We're going to roll it up nice and tight. And then once again, that pan's hot now. This is dangerous. Have you got insurance?
Yes. Do you want me to move it for you?
Can you just warn me that this is hot? No, sorry. We're going to roll it up nice and tight.
You do a lot of rolling in your cooking, huh?
Yeah, not normally, but it's a lot easier doing this than doing kibbe, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know. I'm pretty good at kibbe.
Yeah, I'm not. My mother-in-law watches me and she just shakes her head. And again, we tie it up just to get that nice shape, because once again, you eat with your eyes and it has to look good.
That's right.
All right, one more component to put together.
And then we plate.
And then we're done.
Good.
We can have a coffee.
Excellent.
Great, Nespresso, I love it.
Very good. Nespresso. We have Nespresso out there.
Don't forget about Nespresso.
Yeah.
All right. Lobster. While that's cooking, I'll talk you through this raw milk. Our almond air, and again, this is the chefy component, okay? What we have is our milk, which is cold, roasted almonds, which have been crushed just to release a bit of their oil. We're going to bring that up to the boil. Cinnamon, and again, some
cardamom.
We're going to bring that up to the boil, and what we're going to do now is then put that in the refrigerator, hot. So it's going to slowly cool down, and all those oils in the nuts are going to leach out into the milk and infuse the milk. We're also going to add a touch. This is optional. A touch of amaretto, which is an almond liqueur.
Okay, but you could leave that out.
You can leave it out. It's still going to have a big almond flavour. That's just to kind of lift it a little bit more.
Okay.
Once that's come up to the boil, in the fridge, let it set. Then we pass it off. So basically, we strain it and get rid of all of the nuts, and you can use that in a sweet. It's beautiful. And we keep the poached milk, the infused milk. What that's then going to happen to is going to add some soy lecithin, which are we doing out here? Okay. Which Maria will put together, and that's going to produce when you have a bubble bath and you've got all the bubbles on top and it's nice and airy, that comes from a stabilizer in the soap called soy lecithin, which is what we're going to use now. It's a natural product. It's not a chemical, which is going to give that milk some life and bring it up. That's that. That's that.
Now, if we didn't have the soy lecithin and, you know, the chefy bit,
Yeah.
would it be okay, for instance, after you've taken the milk and sieved it, to thicken it with something that would be in the home, like cornstarch, and make it like a little creamy?
Yeah, yeah.
And it would be a creamy sauce on the side.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely you could do that. Or you could use the almonds instead.
Oh, because that thickens itself.
Yeah, puree it up, use the almonds, or just use those passed off almonds as a little garnish to give you the same flavour.
Yeah, so you can still do that without having to do the air thing.
Yeah, without the air thing.
Because we don't all have one of those things, but I think I'm going to go into business.
Yeah,
I've discovered I'm going to start selling them.
Yeah, they're huge, and all the kitchens in Australia have them. And we're flashing here, so I think that means we're not working.
Yeah, this one's better.
Yeah. Sorry for the technical delay. We're getting there.
It'll come.
Okay, we're coming. One other garnish which I forgot about, which is a bit whimsical, is I think you call them Rice Krispies here.
Yep.
Breakfast cereal.
Yep.
Basically, like we had the puffed wheat, this is just rice. Just rice that's been dehydrated and then reconstituted. So what we're going to do is, again, where's my oil? Is we're going to fry it. It's your fault, the oil was over there. We're going to, if this gets hot.
It is hot now. Yep.
We're going to fry it up, and that's going to create a bit of crunch, because really in the dish there's no texture. You know, you've got lovely ham or lovely pasterma on the crayfish. You've got this really salty little cylinder of pumpkin and crab. We've got a beautiful puree, but there's no crunch.
Nothing.
And every
that
dish
bites.
needs a bit of crunch. So this is
the one.
getting there slowly, shway shway. We're getting there. What we're going to do is fry that off, and we need to introduce a little bit of sweetness. So we've got some dates, some diced shallots, some thyme, and almonds. And it's a really quick little garnish to put together. So while that's slowly warming, I'll start. You can get rid of all this, Maria. While that's slowly warming, I'll start to plate. So that's that puree that we spoke about earlier.
Oh, there's that swirl, ladies.
Yeah, the swirls get the girls.
No, it just costs more in a restaurant.
Is this going to heat up? Sorry about this. In a kitchen, you've got intense heat. You put a pan on the stove and bang, it's hot straight away. That's why I don't cook at home. One, because I make a mess and then I have to clean it up. And two, because it just frustrates me.
Yeah.
At work, it's great. I've got within our restaurants, we've got 65 chefs, and I've got a brigade of kitchen porters, about 30 deep. So I can just go, I need a pan.
And it's there.
It's there. It's great. Doesn't work so well when I go home. Because when I say to my wife, I need a pan, she goes, huh?
Yeah. The rules change at home.
Oh yeah, I'm not the boss. So that doesn't look like it's frying, but that is quite hot now. And that'll slowly start to change colour and become quite crunchy. Shallots. Almonds that have already been roasted. Thyme. Salt. All the chefs at the Shangri-La looked at me funny when I started to ask for Rice Krispies again. Huh? Rice Krispies? They said, it's 4 o'clock. I said, yeah, I need some Rice Krispies. But we eventually got them, and the dish works quite well. So that's coming together. Maria's added the soy lecithin to the... You want to bring that over here? Can you bring that here? Maria's added the soy lecithin to the milk. Yeah. Reach. Push the pan over. Yeah. So added the soy lecithin to the milk and started to buzz it up. And what that's happened is that's incorporating air into the dish and lifting up the milk, which is going to have those lovely bubbles, which cost you 100 dirhams more. Salt, lemon juice. Done. Tail's ready.
So you're making a little crunchy topping here. That's what this is, a crunchy topping.
Yeah, crunchy topping. That's also ready. That can come off. Now we've got too much heat. All right. I know the silence is killing you. I normally can't. So.
No, it's coming together very beautifully. I'll take this off the heat though. Burning.
Ah, yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah.
A little bit of our crunchiness over the top, just to provide that texture. Now, what we have here is just it's called, I'm not going to make it, it takes hours and hours. It's jugra. So it's a beef-based sauce, which is reduced right down. You'll see it a lot used in my kitchen a lot, just to garnish plates. It doesn't really add a huge amount of flavour because it's more of a, aesthetic, more for aesthetics. But a little bit over the cray.
But it looks nice when you see something shiny and juicy on top.
And it adds that bit of meatiness to the dish.
Right.
Where's the shoots, Marie? Okay. Some micro herbs. And these add a really lovely freshness to the dish. They're not just for looks. They do, when you're eating them, they're beautiful to get these little herb, because there's not a lot of herb in there, a little bit of thyme and that's it. To get the pronounced flavour of the herbs is beautiful. And just
there's the foam.
There's the air on top, the little almond air, which gives it that sort of Middle Eastern almonds,
Yeah.
So it's Middle Eastern food, but it is, but it isn't. It's got the heart, the soul, the flavour, more refined.
Right. Very nice. Very nice. And I can testify to trying this and telling you it's wonderful. Are you still at the restaurant tonight?
Last night tonight, so book up. We've still got a few seats left, because otherwise you have to fly 14 hours. Actually, you know what? Don't book, come to a restaurant, that way I get to keep the money.
Okay. Well, I am recommending it highly by firsthand. I actually tried. So if you get the chance to visit Pearls and Caviar in Shangri-La, where he'll be cooking 8 courses, is it, Chef? Is it 8?
Yeah, there's 3 different menus. I think there's a 4-course.
Oh. So you have
an a la
choice.
carte, a 4-course, a 6-course, and a 3, 4,
4,
and
and
6.
6.
Our
Okay.
restaurant manager.
Okay, the restaurant manager knows what he's talking about. So you get a choice depending on how hungry you are. But you will be guaranteed a flavor explosion.
Thank you very much.
I sincerely say this, Pearls and Caviar in Shangri-La. Tonight. Tonight is the last night, and then he's
Book
gone.
up.
Yeah. The last chance, to grab
Last chance,
it.
yeah.
Okay, well, yes.
Thank you.
That's it, huh?
Done.
Okay, I have to say a word before I leave, okay? And I'm going to try to fight back tears.
Don't cry.
Okay. No, I can't. I have been so privileged, honored by meeting everybody. Why am I crying? Hold on.
It's because it's over, that's why,
Yeah, I'm happy to have met everyone. There are many ladies that are gone now, but I've always believed in my heart that food brings people together. And no better evidence of that than the last 2 weeks we've been here, all in one room, for Gourmet Abu Dhabi. Thank you, Abu Dhabi. I was just about to make a mistake. Abu Dhabi Tourism Authority and the Armed Forces Club, of course, that made this happen. We've all been under one roof, sharing, breaking bread together, sharing stories. I've gotten to know so many of you. Sometimes friendship is not measured in the length of time that you know people. Sometimes it's just a moment, and a short one. And I just want to say, me, Suzanne, from my heart, how privileged I felt being here, and happy, and thank you for all your the kind things that you've said to me. I've enjoyed every minute of it, and I hope I'll get the opportunity to meet you all once again at various other events, maybe in Dubai, maybe in Abu Dhabi. But I just want to thank every single one of you ladies from the bottom of my heart for making me feel so welcome. Thank you. And
wow.
Not to take away from you, Chef.
No, you can take it all away.
I'm
it's fine.
sorry.
Look, it's not all about you, okay? It's about
No,
me
it's
today.
about you.
Look. Oh,
Yes.
Shane Delia.
Yes, it's all about Shane. He's the star today. I'm just the teary-eyed, sensitive woman who just can't bear saying goodbye. I don't want to say goodbye. I would say so long. Thank you for buying my book, for people who bought my book. And I hope a little piece of me remains with you, because I feel honored even for you to have bought my book. And hopefully you'll share with me stories, and you'll try the dishes, and it'll be, you'll cook with love, basically, is what I want you to do. Thank you, Shane.
Thank you.
And pardon the tears, but it was a joy to end this event with you at the end.
Save the best for last.
Save the best for last. That's it. He's the best chef. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, everybody who was responsible for making this event a success. And I hope you will attend the charity dinner tonight if you've gotten a ticket. Or if you can't make it, I think it's full, I don't know, but maybe you can donate some bricks. There's still an opportunity to donate to allow this wonderful facility for our dear children to happen. So all of you have big hearts, I already know that, so please give. And we'll see you outside, we'll chat, we'll take pictures, we'll talk, and hope to see you next year. Thank you. Thank you, Shane.
Thank you.
All the crazy shit I did tonight, those would be the best memories. I just wanna let it go for the